Hey guys, it's Meridy here with Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and I am here today to wish you a happy International Scrapbooking Day, weekend, month, etc. I hope you guys are having fun today and doing all sorts of different challenges that are going around right now and different shopping specials and just enjoying your weekend being a scrapbooker. So today I'm here to show you our small Not Just for Boys Kit Club International Scrapbooking Day little thing that we've got going on. We know there's a lot to pick from, so we just have kind of a little thing going on. First of all, we have a free cut file on our website. It is called a Polaroid frame background, I believe. If you search it up on our website, notjustforboyskitclub.com, I will also link it in the description of this video. But this is the free cut file, and what it is it cuts part of these little Polaroid frames out, and then I already glued it all down, so I can't really show you how it works, but you flip the cutout part over so it makes the other half of the Polaroid frame. And you can put like little mini pictures in these or back it with patterned paper, the whole design. Let me show you. Like you could back the design with one color pattern paper, and if you actually cut, instead of cutting on white cardstock, if you cut on double-sided pattern paper, when you flip the frame, this other part of the frame will be the opposite pattern. You know what I mean? It'll be the B side, and then you can back it with a third pattern, or you could back every single one with different colors. I'm hoping to get a few examples using this cut file up on our Instagram and our Facebook community group and stuff like that, so you can see this in action. It might be, you know, at some point in the month of May, we'll get it up there. It might not be this weekend, but at some point we'll have some examples up there. So that's the free cut file. And then we have we released this on release day, which was May 1st. And it's a super discounted kit, but of brand new awesome products. And it was $6, I believe, for this kit. And although it doesn't come with instructions, that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna do 3 12x12 layouts using just these supplies right here. And so that's our little International Scrapbook Day special. So what your kit comes with, it comes with a sequin pack, and then 3 papers from the My Story Simple Stories My Story collection, which this one is called Share Your Story, and it has books, which remind me of scrapbooks, on one side and stars on the other, and then the My Story journaling elements, and it has cameras on the other because I thought that was perfect for scrapbookers and a page about us. And then it comes with this paper called Take Your Time, which is orange diamonds on one side and butterflies on the other. And then a 12x12 sticker sheet, which is perfect for making our title and adding embellishments to these layouts. And then it comes with 3 sheets of smooth white cardstock. So I am just gonna go ahead and get started. There are no printed out instructions for this, so I will tell you how to cut these while we're going in the video. So this is kind of going to be a real-time video, although there's quite a bit of fussy cutting at one point, and I'm gonna turn my camera off to do that because that is just too much for you to watch. It will not be fun. But the first thing that I'm going to do is trim the branding strip off of this orange paper, and then I'm going to gut this orange paper with about approximately 1-inch borders all the way around. So that's about 1 inch. It's a little less than 1 inch, but it's fine. So I'm gonna gut this paper with approximately 1-inch borders. And instead of using photographs on the layouts that I'm making here in this video, I am going to use cardstock that represents my photos. So that will explain why I've got little white pieces of cardstock here. Those don't come with the kit. Those are just representing my photos for the sake of making this YouTube video. Whoa! So I just didn't go quite to the edges, so I had to cut that out. So you've gutted this paper, and we're gonna set the frame side. I'm gonna kind of gather the pieces up by layout. So you're gonna need 1 sheet of white cardstock for for this layout. You're gonna need the frame, and then you're going to need, actually, we're gonna continue cutting this orange paper because we need a few more things off of it. We're gonna need 3 pieces of this orange paper that are 3" by 4". And right now you should be left with approximately 10 by 10 square. So we'll cut 4 inches, and then I'll cut 3 inches off, 3 inches off, and 3 inches off. So that's 3, 6, 9, and you should be left with approximately 1 inch by 4". You're gonna use this in a little bit too. That's all that we need to cut of this orange paper. The rest of this is going to be scrap. Let's cut all the papers first, and then I'll organize what papers go with which things. Okay, so these cut aparts, we're gonna do these next. And what we're gonna start with is trimming off the branding strip. That's easy enough. And then I want to keep one whole, these are like 3" columns. Each of these columns are 3 inches wide. So I wanna pick one column, the one I like the least, and I'm gonna keep that whole column intact. And it's gonna be this last one. I decided to use this last one, so because we're gonna use it for the B side. So this whole last column is gonna stay intact. I'm not gonna use those journaling cards. So you might wanna choose which column you like the least and keep that intact, like one strip. Now, we're going to have this second column right here. Oh, I should have said this first. This second column right, or this column right here, you're gonna cut the whole column and keep it intact, except you're gonna cut off this one little tab at the bottom. And this one is a pretty important one to leave intact. Oops, I cut it a little crooked. I'm gonna give it a little trim here. I don't know what I'm doing. So I am gonna cut off this one little label, but we'll keep this intact also. Now you can pick, I picked 2 cards that I liked the best from these 2 strips. I like the snapshots and the Me Documented. So I'm going to go ahead and trim out those. Me Documented and snapshots. And then the rest of these, we're going to fussy cut the cameras off the back. And I'm even going to fussy cut the cameras that are halfway sticking off. So like this one, this one, this one. I'm gonna do a couple of these that are half sticking off, but not like this teeny tiny one. So I'm gonna fussy cut all the cameras that I can possibly get off of those 4 pieces that are left. And I am gonna go ahead and turn off the camera and do this because it's gonna take me quite a while, and I don't think that's very exciting for you to watch. So I will be right back. Alrighty guys, I got all these little cameras cut out. So we're just gonna set them off to the side because we're gonna be using them soon. And the next piece of paper that we're gonna go ahead and cut right into is this book paper. And again, we're gonna cut off the branding strip. And then we're gonna cut off the top 2 rows of books with the shelf. So I'm just gonna cut the shelf right along with it. Let me make double sure before I cut. Yeah, the shelf goes with it. Actually, let's cut off the bottom 2 rows. The bottom 2 rows. Because the shelf's at the bottom like that. So we'll cut off the bottom 2 rows. And then we're gonna cut 4 inches. So a 4-inch piece. Making sure I'm doing this right before I cut a 4-inch piece. Nope, I shouldn't have done that. I just messed this up. Do not cut a 4-inch piece. Cut 9 inches off. So I'm going to pretend like this is still attached. See, I knew I shouldn't have done this. Cut a 9-inch piece off. okay? This is supposed to be intact, this little piece that you just cut. So this piece should be intact, okay? Don't cut it that way. Then turn your paper and cut 4 inches off the bottom, and then another 4 inches from right here. So you've got 2 pieces that are 9 inches by 4 inches. You're gonna flip one over and cut it 3 inches and 3 inches. So now, this is what this paper used to look like when it was all together. That was the top. Then we had once I lay this out, then I will show you exactly what the correct cuts are. Okay, so this was the whole sheet of paper. You're cutting the bottom 2 rows off. Then you're cutting 9 inches across right here. So just 9 inches from there to there. So this pops off. So this is now 3 inches wide by 9 inches tall. Then you're going to cut 4 inches off there and 4 inches off there. So this is 9 by 4, this is 9 by 4. And then you're gonna cut this into 3 3-inch sections, okay? I know that got a little complicated. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's okay. I think if you've got, I'm leaving this sitting out here for a minute. So if you need to take a screenshot of this to look at it while you're cutting, you can go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to divide up this paper into the 3 different layouts. Okay, so I've got this sitting out here long enough, I think. I'm gonna scooch it off to the side. And we've got 3 layouts that we're working on. Let's put all the little pieces out here. Okay, so our first layout has a white, it's got a 12 by 12 piece of white with this frame, and then it has the 9 inch by 4 inch piece right here. It also has this long, the one that's 12 inches long, piece of the camera paper. It's got one of these orange papers. It's got this snapshots, and then it's got a whole camera. It has another whole camera down here, and it has a half of a camera that's like on the right hand side because it's gonna stick out from under there, because I even used those little breakaway parts. So this is for one layout, and I'm going to put it off to the side. This is going to be the first layout that we make, but you can get all the pieces together this way. And then the second layout that we make is going to have the white paper as the base, the 2 rows of bookshelves that goes all the way 12 inches long. It's going to have, whoops, 2 of these orange pieces and 2 of these 3 by 4 green pieces, okay? And then it's gonna have a bunch of cameras. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, 20 whole cameras that you fussy cut. So 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are at the top. These half cameras we're going to use too, so let's not forget about them. I'm just going to lay the half cameras down. There's a whole one over here. There's a whole one over here. And then across the bottom, there's 9 more whole ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then you've got a couple half cameras that can go off the edges of the pages. So one can go there, one can go there. One is gonna wanna go up there, halfway off the page, and here, halfway off the page. And then you're gonna need half of each direction on this one. I hope this is making sense. So that can go off the page there, and this one can stick under the frame. I really hope that you guys are understanding what I'm meaning by going off the page and underneath something. Okay, so you've just got a few little cameras left because, you know, there is a couple that we didn't need. Okay, so this is this page, and I think that's all the pieces that we need for that page. Yep. Okay, so this is the second page we're gonna make. Just gonna move it off to the side, and then I'll show you what pieces that we're gonna need for the last page we're gonna make, which is right here. So the last page we're gonna make also starts with a white base, and it's this piece, but we're actually gonna cut it halfway through and stretch it out because the title is gonna cover this seam, but we're not gonna cut it right now. We'll just leave it here. It has this little tab. It has the green 3x4 mat. It has part of this little tab right here. I think the other part of this might be on another page. We'll just put it here. It's got this orange piece, and then it has branding strips, because I absolutely love reusing branding strips. So this branding strip that looks like it's got the book's stripes, we cut that whole piece off, and then on the back it's got this little green piece. And I don't think it uses any of the other branding strips, but we might use them on another page. I can't remember, so let's not throw them away. And then you're gonna have, oh yeah, we do use this branding strip too. We use this diamond one, and we're gonna cut, this is supposed to be a whole sheet, guys, remember? Okay, because I messed up when I cut it. We're gonna cut a little thin, two little thin strips. And mine isn't a whole sheet, but that's fine. Mine is just going to have seams in it on this layout, which is fine. You're not really gonna even be able to see them. So pretend like that is one long little strip, and then we'll cut also another one. Those can be about a quarter of an inch wide. They're not very wide at all. So we will use these on this page as well. I'm gonna go ahead, I know this is cut in half, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in half lengthwise, because I feel like this half is on this half page, but this half I feel like is on another page. Possibly that might be too. I got a few scraps going on here that we'll just keep here. These are scraps because I might have used them and I'm just not noticing it right now, but we will get to it. Okay, so let's start with the first layout that we pulled our pieces for, which is this guy right here. So I used 4 3x4 photos that are in landscape orientation on this one. Okay, first thing that we're gonna do is move all of these pieces, and then we're gonna go ahead and trim your white paper about a ½ inch off of 2 sides. So make it be 11.5 approximately. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just so when it sits on that orange frame, we can see the orange mat around the whole thing that we cutted. My glue and everything. And then we're gonna go ahead and adhere it right there. So the orange is a mat for this whole layout. Of course, I taped it to my desk because, you know. Okay, I got a little adhesive sneaking out from under there. Just get that off. Okay, so now we've got our layout matted. Next, we're going to take this camera strip and adhere it right about here, but I only want it to be as tall as the white paper. So I'm gonna trim off about a 1/2 inch on the bottom. So that way it's, leave that scrap there just in case we need it for anything. But now it's approximately, oh, I gotta trim a little bit more. I didn't really measure, so. It's better to cut a little shy than cut too much at the beginning. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this down. Now, when I print out my 3x4 photos and I'm trying to get as much use of paper as possible, I trim my 3x4s down 1/4 inch off of 2 sides. I do the same thing with 4x6 photos. So really, these photos are 2 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And it just makes it so much easier, and you can get so much out of your paper when it's just that little bit of an inch, the 1/4 inch less. That way I can fit all 3 of these on my 9x4 inch piece of green paper. So we're gonna go ahead and adhere these down. And that way, you know, you can see the green mat. If these photos were exactly 3 inches by 4 inches, we would not see, you know, the mat at all, the green mat. And to me, I feel like I'm saving paper when I just trim these photos down a little tiny bit. And I need to adjust here a little to make the borders even. That's all I'm doing here. Okay, so we've got this piece. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to the layout. Closer to the bottom than the top. See, there's a lot more space at the top, not so much at the bottom. Ooh. Okay. And then this last photo that's 3x4, I'm going to, it's really 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 again. I'm going to mat it straight on to this orange mat. And I'm just going to slightly overlap my picture there. Now, if you have a lot of important things in your bottom pictures here that you don't want to overlap it, you can scoot this out a little or maybe put it up here. I didn't do a very great job at cutting this. It has little tiny slivers of the next journaling block, so I'm just trimming those off so you can't see those white borders. And then I'm going to adhere this journaling block down right there. And again, I'm overlapping it a little, but if you've got important stuff in these pictures that you shouldn't overlap, then just don't overlap it right there. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and adhere some of these cameras that we've got here. And one thing that I did on this page that I cannot do right now is, actually I can. I use this packaging from your sequins. So leave the sequins in the bag, pull out the packaging, and I just fussy cut this orange tab right out of the middle. So everyone should have an orange tab with the little banner notches cut out of the bottom. And I just fussy cut that right out to use on this layout. We're gonna use some of those other tabs too, so don't throw them away. And then I cut it in like 2/3 of it is there and 1/3 of it is there. So 2/3 of it is gonna stick out over here. And then 1/3 of it, this little piece, is going to stick out right there. And now, oh, I did this one a little crooked. Come on. And now I can put these other 2 cameras on, and I'm actually going to pop them up on, I'm gonna move this down a little bit more. I'm gonna pop these 2 cameras up on foam tape. And just really quick. On the foam tape. And after this, we've just got to finish off embellishing. you've got your sticker sheet. And on this one, I put the word choose joy. Obviously, you can use the choice of many words down here. I put, oh, happy day. And then on the bottom, I put enjoy this moment, good vibes, and be the good. So I'll start with good vibes. Be the good, and then enjoy this moment. I love this sticker sheet because there's so many options. And then I did a stack of books, but I didn't want this diagonal one to be sticking out there because I want to put my journaling on this. So I just trimmed that diagonal guy off. You really cannot even tell. You would not even notice, I don't think. Because otherwise he was out here and it's even less space to journal. So guys, I think that is it for this first layout. Just need to add journaling. Oh, I made this a little crooked because I keep moving things. But let's move on to the next one because this is fun. And these layouts are fairly simple, but I think that they make a good impact. I think they're simple to do, but they look really nice. So let's move all these cameras off. And these cameras go there, these ones go here, and all these go at the bottom. So I'm just gonna pull them down. It's okay if you can't see them, like if they're off this screen. And we're gonna start by adhering this piece of paper. And it's gonna go right about there. So maybe like the width of another bookshelf is above it. Does that make sense? And then we are gonna use 4 3x4 landscape photos. And again, I trimmed these down to about 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And that's what we're going to use because these mats are perfectly 3x4 size. And then I think that we can go ahead and adhere these. I kind of staggered mine a little on my layout, and I put, you know, green and green and then orange and orange. So they're diagonal from each other with the color. So I'm just keeping them staggered just like that. And you can tilt them a little if you want, or keep them square on. I'm gonna leave them square on for this one. I believe I tilted them a little when I made my original layout. Okay. And you've got, the way that you could tell if they're centered is there's about as much space on this side as there is on this side. And that's kind of how you want it. I mean, you can move them to one side or another if you want. Like if you want it off-centered and all of them over here, that's fine. But that's how I did mine, is I centered them. Okay, so we've got that going on. And then these little cameras. So like, remember how I said they were cut off the edge? We're just gonna adhere all of them. And then the one that's on top of each of these sides, so this one that's on top, I'm gonna pop up with foam tape. So instead of you guys watching me make a million or 20 cameras glued down, I'm gonna just glue these ones on the top. So it's just these. Oh, I lost one. It went, there it goes. It's just going to be these guys right here and these across the top. And across the top, the way I'm going to start is I'll glue one to the end, and then I'll just keep moving in. And actually on the top I'll talk you through this a little. I did pop a few up on foam tape across the top. I made them be crookedy because I'm going to pop this one on foam tape, so I'm not putting it down quite yet. I made them be crookedy so it wouldn't matter if they were perfectly straight or not. Okay, and then I went ahead and I adhered one more. I didn't want it to be like an exact pattern, like popped up flat, but you could do that, like every other one popped up and every other one flat, but I wanted mine to be more of like really, what's the word, asymmetrical, I guess. So I popped up this one, and then to really make it asymmetrical, I popped up 2 in a row right here. Oh, I think I'm missing one. Yeah, I am. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm gonna pop both of those up. It's a good thing we have extra cameras here because this really is not fitting correctly like it should, but that's fine. We'll just, I'm gonna take this one off. I'm gonna take this one off. So I'm gonna have 2 there. I'm gonna put that one down. I'm gonna put an extra one up there. The same thing may happen at the bottom. And then I'll put this half one just sticking off the page, and I'll go ahead and trim that off. Okay, well, apparently I am doing all of this on camera because here we are done with this, and here I am still on camera. So I guess we'll just leave it, and I'll get these 3 real quick on camera too. There. So I've got this one, and those 2 popped up. What happened here? I made a gap there. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about peeling off here since we're filming, and I don't want you to have to watch me disassembling and reassembling to make that little gap go away. Okay, and then this one I like popped up. If you don't like dimension on your pages, obviously skip this part of popping up the cameras. Okay, now I'm gonna grab one more little camera since we ran out on that last one. I'm afraid we're gonna run out of space on this one too. Okay, I grabbed a bigger end. That's good. Now, this is the sequins fun part. We're gonna use sequins just like glitter. I'm gonna take Eileen's tacky glue because it's nice and thick, and I think it does a good job of doing this. And I am putting a big, thick line, like a lot of glue across the bottom. And I am going to sprinkle sequins on it just like you would sprinkle glitter on glue. So I'm trying to get it across the whole thing before I run out of my little bag. There's plenty in this bag, guys. Plenty. I think I got it pretty evenly distributed. And then I'm going to push down. Oh, there's a big chunk of green in there. Okay. You can move the little pieces that are not stuck. You know what I'm saying? So that all the glue is covered with sequins. Because I don't want to touch the glue with my hand, then my hands will be sticking to all the sequins. It will be a mess. So I make sure it's really covered, and then you can kind of push it down so it really sticks. I'm gonna move these little cameras. Guess I didn't need to leave them on there. And then I'm gonna sprinkle the glitter off, or the sequins off. And if you feel like you need to add more to some areas that got a little less covered, you can go in with more glue and add more sequins. Because as you could see, there's quite a bit left. I am not going to do that right now. I'm not adding any more. I think that mine is good. I just want to get these sequins picked up and get them back in the bag. Okay, all back in the bag. We're going to use a little bit on our last page, but you should have plenty of sequins left, even for more layouts. And it matches these stickers and this paper line wonderfully. I'm going to go ahead and trim off these little hanging edges that I left on here because they're kind of bothering me right now. So I'm just trimming off the little pieces of the cameras that are sticking over. Now we can go ahead and glue on the last of the little cameras. So we will take the end one and put it down. And I kind of just snuck the little cameras on here. I did pop a few of them up on dimensional adhesive. I did them crooked again, just like the last ones. I popped the next one up tall. I like trying new things with sequins. I really like fussy cutting paper to get, you know, to make it just stretch a little bit longer. Like I loved the cameras on this paper so much, but it was very busy using all of the cameras like as the background. So that's why I decided to fussy cut them and kind of make them into photo borders for this page. Yeah, and I like using sequins in different ways, so that's why I decided to try doing this little sequins strip again. That's how my scrapbooky brain works. And as you can see, I popped this one on dimension. I'm popping this one up. I'm a little bit shy here again. I'm just gonna kind of pull some of these off and move them. There's also another camera over there somewhere, like fussy cut camera. All right, the last thing for this is we are gonna put this open white tab. This is the back of the packaging again from the sequins. We're gonna fussy cut the one that's open, that's orange, not red, because there's a red one too. So this one is the orange one that's white inside. Actually, the red one probably matches too because there's red books there, but I like the orange one. And I'm popping it up on foam tape. And I'm putting it right over, slightly overlapping my photo. And then I'm putting the sticker that says memories, kind of hanging off of it. Okay, and then at the bottom right here, I made a mistake when I was cutting the tags, and this doesn't look exactly like my original example, but I think I'm just gonna cut a little piece of this scrap that's left, 2.5 inches long maybe. I'm gonna pop it up on foam tape. Okay, I am going to slide it right here. And then I'm going to use the word documented with the flowers kind of off to the side like that. And then I'm going to use the word so happy underneath it, just like that. Alrighty. And then this layout is pretty much done for this side. Yeah, you can add journaling if you want. Shake off a little more sequins after it fully dries to get those loose sequins off, but this one is done. And let's start working on the third and final layout. So the third and final layout is going to start again with the white, a white base. And like I said, this piece right here, I want it to stretch all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. So I'm gonna cut it about right here, just in half. And I'm gonna eventually cover this seam So you're not even gonna know I did that. But for right now, that's what we're doing. And I'm putting it about 2 inches over from the side right here, just about 2 inches. Okay. And then I'm gonna pull this. This is the branding strip that was orange. I'm gonna cut it in half. You could use your trimmer, you could use scissors, whichever way you prefer. I'm going to adhere it down, right? Butt it up against, I'm leaving a tiny little gap of white next to this paper. If it bothers you that it's full diamonds here and not full diamonds here, you should cut out the 2 diamond patterns instead. Like cut just the width of the diamonds instead of cutting the strip exactly in half, but it's not bothering me. Then comes, this is supposed to be 9 inches long, guys. Remember, I cut this as the mistake at the beginning. You're gonna put one of those down, all the way down. And your seam, because you're gonna need, it's only 9 inches long, so you're gonna need 2 pieces. So your seam, if you cut it right, not like me, will hide right here. But you know, I messed up, so my seam is not hiding. I got seams everywhere. But again, I'm not worried about it because this is so intricate. I don't think I'll notice the seam. There's so much going on this. Let me glue this one. I just want to adhere that all the way down. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of this little hanging tab. Boom. All right, and then we've got a scallop sticker, and as you notice, it's not quite 12 inches long. So I'm gonna start it at the bottom. I'm gonna cut it where I've got this whole gap of seam mess, and then I'm gonna continue it at the top. Okay. Next, we're gonna grab the This Is Me. We're gonna grab a 3 inch by 4 inch picture that's slightly trimmed down. Oh, you can see I didn't trim this one yet. So that's what would happen if I didn't trim it, but we're gonna trim it slightly down, 1/4 of an inch off each side. So it's really 2 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And we're gonna mat that right on the screen. Okay, and we're gonna kind of lay these diagonal like that. This little tag is going to want to peek out the bottom right here. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and start adhering because I don't want things to be moving around on me. So that's like that. And then this one can go right in there. Okay, now we've got all these branding strips. So I'm gonna put the one that's striped, the book one, all the way across the whole entire bottom. If I could do it straight, that would be nice. Okay, and then we've got this thick piece. Basically, guys, by the time I was at this layout, I was just using my scraps, placing them wherever they looked nice. So you could tell I really was trying to use all the pieces of this kit. So that one can go right there. And then we've got this green branding strip. And that one can go right about there. Okay. Now, all of these little pieces, I do not think I use anymore, except I am going to use this packaging tag. So let me just scooch these all off so they're not distracting. I am gonna finish fussy cutting this orange one. And I'm going to pop it up on foam tape. And put it right there. I'm gonna grab my stickers and the title, This Is Me, this ginormous title. Look, it's gonna cover everything for us. So we're gonna pop this up on foam tape. Oh, I'm not gonna stick it down quite yet because I've got to get one more sticker to kind of help cover up this gap. I'm not using a lot of tape right now in this video because you don't need to watch me tape a bunch of pieces of tape down, but normally I would put a little bit more tape on the back of this. Okay, so this is me. We've got it sitting right here. And I think we can angle it a little bit so that not much is showing. I see a little bit of white showing right there. I didn't see that showing in my original layout, but I think we can cover it up with some flower stickers, so I'm not too worried about it. So I've got This Is Me, and then I put a typewriter here. So this typewriter is gonna help cover up that little piece of white. And we've got a little camera on these stickers. I made my camera into a shaker using some of those sequins. I cut the middle circle out of here and I covered it in clear plastic. I put some sequins in it. I made it into a shaker. I'm not gonna do that on camera right now. It took quite a while. I used an X-Acto knife. But that is an option of what you can do with your camera. Instead, I'm just popping it up on dimensional adhesive, and then I'm gonna add some of these word stickers. I'm gonna add the word documented. Excuse me. I'm gonna add the word grateful right here. I'm going to add the phrase enjoy life down here. This is a page that could be about you, since it says This Is Me. So in my original layout, I have a picture of myself in there. The little things I'm going to add down here. Then I'm going to fill in some flowers. So for this part, since I've got this white showing right here and that I didn't mean to happen, I'm gonna take this flower vase. I am going to trim the vase off because I don't care about the vase. I'm going to make these flowers hang down because it kind of matches all the flowers that are already on the sticker. And that's perfect. It covered up that little bit of white. I'm going to go ahead and add a few more flowers. Like, I liked one up in the corner up here. And another couple there. I added a little one down here by this grateful. I added a little blue flower with some leaves down here by the little things. And then I added a couple flowers up here just under this title to kind of bring your eye up to the title, because again, it's surrounded by flowers. Oh, I've got a little white showing right there. So I'm gonna stick a little flower underneath there so you can't see that little piece of white either. Oop, I think I need my tweezers to do this for sure. Let me get these. Yeah, because it's a tight little squeeze right there. But if you wanted, you could sprinkle some sequins around and adhere it down to use up some more of your sequins that you have, or maybe put a piece of sequins in the middle of this camera. Like I said, I made a shaker box I made a little shaker out of this camera, so that's always an option too. But this is the third and final layout for this kit. And guys, you still got a lot of stickers left over. You can go add them into all your layouts, like where you see fit. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna put still pictures of all of these at the end of this video. They are also still pictures and close-up shots on the listing for this kit on our website, not just for Boys Kit Club. Even if it's sold out, we still have the pictures up there and the listing up there, so you can refer back to them. And I hope everyone had a awesome International Scrapbook Day and International Scrapbook Day weekend. And oh, I would love to see your finished pages on our Facebook group, not just for Boys Kit Club community, so we can see each other's pages. And I will see you later, guys. Bye.